What is up, guys? I heard a lot of you guys are coming back to New World, and I thought I'd do a video to catch you guys up. Let's get into it. All right, first, let's start with some quality of life improvements. One thing everybody's been asking for since beta was being able to run while looking in your inventory, which they've added. They reduced the cost of travel across the map, with the max being 20 Azoth, no matter how much weight you have. They added a bit more fluidity when it came to dodging, especially with light dodging. If you could see, on the left is old beta footage, and on the right is the new dodge. Housing taxes were reduced, and the cost is only 1% of your house's value. They stopped charging you gold, and now you can freely deposit and withdraw any item from any storage in the map. The auction house got a revamp, and they made it easier for you to search items in the store. You can search items just on the perks. You can search them based on the attributes. It's something that we've always wanted, and they listened to us and they did it. The cost of respeccing your attribute points as well as your weapon mastery have also been reduced. It is now 200 gold to respec your attributes, and it is 50 Azoth to respec your mastery, way less than it was at launch and the beta. You no longer have to be at a settlement to queue for OPR. You can do it from anywhere in the map, as you see right now. To help with the expertise, or what we used to call gear score grind, they've added something called gypsum casting. There are various ways to do it. I'll probably get into another video, but it's another easier way to level up your gear score / expertise. They changed some of the fort bonuses, which, from what I've seen, has promoted a lot of open world PvP. First Light is definitely the best fort. Okay, time to move on to some new expeditions. Welcome to Tempest Heart, where you fight a massive giant Spriggan and an emo snake boy with a bow. There's also a ton of fire. Lastly, you fight Winged Isabella. That's pretty fun. I'm pretty sure the map just looks like a fidget spinner. And she could burn you. Lots of fire in this one. Red means fire. Very good. Up next is the newest expedition, Barnacles and Black Powder. It consists of beasts, ghosts, pirates, all the fun stuff. Oh, and a big alligator, and some small alligators, more pirates. Then you fight a pirate Blastoise. There's cannons, there's barrages. It's actually a really fun fight. The best was saved for last. In my opinion, it is one of the more challenging fights in the whole game. You fight Water Lady with tornadoes that apply a ton of rend. It's really challenging. Next, let's talk about mutations. They're just expeditions that have modifiers on them. They've also added a group finder. It happened. It can use some improvements. It's a bit rough around the edges, but it's a really good tool. I use it from time to time. You can either create a group, or you can join a group. You can set the gear score limit. You can say what you're looking for. They also got rid of orbs for expeditions. Oh, how could I forget materia? You get the materia by doing expeditions. Once you accumulate enough materia, you can go to an outfitting station, and you can scroll through it and see what items that you need, and you can claim the item that you want. Next, we got new weapons and kind of a trade skill. The first new weapon that they had added after launch was called a Void Gauntlet. It scales off of int, and it scales off of focus. The most recent weapon that they've added is called the Blunderbuss. It first scales off of strength, and then it scales off of int. It's a really high burst damage weapon. Oh, and on the topic of shooty weapons, they've added free ammo. Well, there's no damage modifier, but it's free. Music has been added to the game. It is kind of like Guitar Hero, but with your keyboard. Not only does music add some quality entertainment, it can give you some really nice buffs. Now, it is a grind to level up, but it's kind of worth it. And mind you, I'm only level 24, so I don't want to hear it. Moving on, let's talk PvP. A mode many people have always wanted was 3v3s, and it's finally been added. It's actually really fun. You either get slapped or you do the slapping, but it doesn't consume any of your consumables that you use during the battles. Next, let's talk about how they improved war. As you see right here, this is beta war footage. It's choppy, it's laggy, and this clip is a more recent war. It's so much more fluid now. Though it's laggy from time to time, but it's better than it was in the beta. And I can't forget to mention that when you're knocked in PvP now, there's actually no knock stage. You just full die. And then they've added an incentive for PvPing. It's called a PvP track, and these are some of the items that you can get from said tracks. Up next is crafting, refining, and gathering. It's now faster to level up your gathering skills, so much faster than it was when the game first came out. You still have to put some time into it, but it's a lot less XP than it was before. There's only one tier for refining mats now. They introduced a new crafting mat called a stopwatch. I'm going to show you how it's used and why it's kind of OP. Oh, also you can only make one a day. All right. So normally when you're crafting, you have your full set on, you have your trophies up, you have your consumables going. The range for crafting is 595 to 600. But with the stopwatch, the range goes to 598 to 600. It's kind of dope. They've added what is called aptitude levels. Every third level after 200, you get what's called an aptitude chest. Here are some examples of the items that you can get in these chests and why they're so OP. They contain rare mats, which is pretty tight. Up next, let's talk about crafting and refining outfits. It used to be really difficult to get a lot of those items. They made it a bit easier. They changed around where you can get a lot of the stuff drop, and you can kind of solo farm a lot of it. Okay, now this is the dopest thing that they've added. You can go to any one of the kilns, okay? And you can refine and change attribute mods to whatever you want. It is so sick. I just discovered it recently. Lastly is the I don't really know how to categorize it, but let's talk about it segment. So, they've added an item called Umbral Shards. It's a resource in the game to where when you have enough, you can upgrade items that are 590 to 625. And named items that are 590, you can boost them to 600 or above, and you get that third perk. And we can't forget about our boy Rafflebones. A lot of people think that he's a myth. I've only seen him a handful of times, but he drops items specific to him, and he gives Umbral Shards. You just have to make sure that if it's a higher level, that you have enough people around to CC lock him so he doesn't run away, because he will run away. I hope that helped out just a bit. That's all I have for you guys. Now go out there and have some fun, and if you guys want to see more content like this in the future, make sure you leave a comment. Bye, guys.